It's here. It's arrived. I know. It's insane, right? What I'm talking about is a brand new doll from Mezco from Living Dead Dolls Presents. And that doll is M3GAN. Before we go any further, I'd like to express my appreciation to you for watching this video. And I would like to send a shout out to Crybaby Lily, who is a Living Dead Dolls collector. She has a channel on YouTube. So if you're not already subscribed to her channel, by all means, do so. I know she would appreciate it. That's Crybaby Lily, and Lily is spelled L-I-L-I. I think the full thing is Crybaby Lily XO. So, check out our videos. You'll be glad you did. On to the doll. This is a doll that I pre-ordered. It just now came in. It came in yesterday. FedEx dropped it off. I opened it and inspected it, and going to show you the doll and give you a little background about it. Let's talk first of all, for those of you that may not be familiar with the M3GAN character. She is from a movie that was called M3GAN that was made back in 2022. It's about a very lonely little girl that her parents die. She goes and lives with her aunt. Her aunt is kind of a creative engineer, and she comes up with a little gynoid friend or companion for this little girl. The little girl's name is Katie. And all seems well. Katie attaches almost too strongly to this M3GAN doll, this little gynoid. And then things, of course, go downward. M3GAN turns murderous and starts wreaking havoc. So it was a movie that, it wasn't like a big, spectacular type of movie, but it was very entertaining. It was a horror movie, but it had elements of camp thrown in. Very entertaining. I enjoyed it. I have the Blu-ray to it that I watch from time to time. And so it made Blumhouse Productions and Atomic Monster, who put out the movie, pretty good bit of money. I think it was like 181 million or something like that. Did very well for being a relatively small budget film. So naturally, they then decide that they're going to do a sequel, which I also saw. It was called M3GAN 2.0. And so it was a movie I was looking forward to seeing it, because like I say, I did like the M3GAN movie. So I got my ticket, went to the theater, bought my extra large popcorn and my giant cherry Coke, and I even went so far as to invest in the Cinemark M3GAN popcorn bucket. That's what a devotee I was. And so there I go into the theater, and I sit down, and the strangest thing happened. I was the only person in the theater for the whole duration of the movie. You know, sometimes you get in there and initially you're by yourself, but a few people straggling. No, I was it. And I had in other words, I had a private viewing, private screening of this movie, which I got to thinking at the time, this isn't a good sign, perhaps, of things to come. And lo and behold, the movie underperformed. Didn't do all that well. I think the problem, and let me clarify by saying, I liked the second movie. I really did. I thought it was entertaining. I didn't walk out of the theater hating life or, hating myself for seeing it. But it was a different type of movie than the first M3GAN movie. The first one, like say, was horror with elements of camp thrown in. The second one leaned heavily into the camp and made it kind of an action superhero type of movie, with M3GAN serving as the sort of misunderstood but good-hearted protagonist against another cyber, antagonist. And like I say, it was entertaining. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't as good as the first movie. And I think what happened was the folks that made it got overconfident with the M3GAN character. They said, all right, she's ready to be an icon, just like, Jason and Michael Myers and, Freddy and all of that. And so we can pretty much make any kind of movie we want, and people will come to see it, but it was premature. They should have leaned heavily into the horror part of it. And, they could keep some camp in there, but they should have made it like a hard R. Make it a horror movie and make M3GAN even scarier. That would have worked, but alas, they did not do that. But like I say, I like the character. I enjoyed both movies, although I did, like I say, enjoy the first one more. Well, let's talk about this new release. Like I say, this is brand new. This is right off the production line. This is the box that the doll came in. And I should mention parenthetically, I don't do unboxings on videos. A lot of people do, and that's fine. I'm not critical of that. I'm saying, though, from personal experience, sometimes you get dolls, especially the larger dolls, that are so secured in those boxes that you have to take scissors, a knife, they got twisties everywhere. And I remember I watched a video of some poor guy that was unboxing a large doll. And I mean, he was sitting there wrestling with it and trying to pull it out and knocking crap all over his little studio. So yeah, I don't do unboxings. I go ahead and unbox the doll, and I'll show you the box if there's anything to see on the box, and I'll show you the doll outside of the box. But this is the front here. It says M3GAN. It says so on both sides. LDD presents. And on the back you have the doll. Shows you what all she has, and it gives you this little kind of a schematic drawing, as though she is indeed a cyber in nature. Nice box. Has the plastic again. She's not tied in there, so you can pop her out pretty quickly, as I recall. And let's look at the doll. Here is the Mezco LDD presents M3GAN. I think she's a very pretty doll. I like the pictures of her, the promo pictures. Her outfit is like in the movies. She's got the little beige dress, the little tie, long sleeves, white stockings, the little shoes. Her face is, I think, very, she obviously looks a little ticked off, but she's a very pretty doll, I think. I was struck by, just what a nice looking doll she is. Her hair is very nice. It's got a good wave to it. Pretty thick back there. So I think, she's a keeper. If you're interested in starting to collect Living Dead dolls, and Living Dead Dolls Presents, should be a good addition to your collection, in my opinion. I would advise you, though, to, if you like this doll, buy her now. Buy her now. Because once the production number is filled and is sold and all of that, as is typically the case, they're going to be raising the prices on the secondary market. So right now, I think she sells something like, I forget the exact amount, $56, something like that. But as time goes on, you're going to see probably that number double, maybe triple. Hard to say. But buy her now. You can't get her really on Mezco. I think you can go on the get on the wait list if you go to the Mezco site. But toy companies online and probably in your city will be carrying her, so she should be pretty easy to find right now. But I would, if I were you, if you like the doll, want to get her, buy her now while you still can and while she is selling for retail. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you found it of value and that it introduced to you this new exciting Living Dead Doll Presents. I hope you take good care of yourselves, and we will see you next time.